Shalom, guys. I hope that you're doing fantastic. Thanks for joining for a chit chat. So, I just did a reading on one of my other channels, and the card that came out was stating over the top of that reading that there was going to be a positive outcome. And I looked at the past, present, and future position, and it was a very positive reading, except what was crossing that reading in the now. Well, the Queen of Wands was in the past. And the now space was the Nine of Pentacles, which is very fruitful energy and being whole on the inside. It's also a segregation card as well, in the negative, how people look at that card, or even the Garden and that kind of stuff. What was crossing that was the Five of Swords, the Chariot, the Judgment. There was another card there. Can't remember the other card, but I just happen to know what the Chariot and the Judgment card, if I take that to the Hebraic living language, the Resh and the Zayin, that word represents somebody who has plotted to do a real nasty sexual act towards someone and then to murder them afterwards. And that came up yesterday on another one of my channels that I got on, and many of y'all watched the little video that I did that your gangbang was found out, or whatever I named that. And that word literally was crossing the reading that I did for today. It was there in the Five of Swords in the deck that I'm using. Obviously, we know the Five of Swords is a defeat card. But the person in the Five of Swords has a sword in his hand and wanting to hand it back, say, come on, let's go again. Because I'm not going to let you win. I don't care if I'm defeated or not. I'm not going to be defeated. And so I'm going to keep going until I defeat you. And that's kind of what that Five of Swords is. Unbridled ambition. I don't care. I'll win at all costs. I don't care. And somebody's real nasty. Somebody really, really nasty. They're crazy in their freaking head. And yet, Jehovah brought out that there was going to be a positive outcome. And he brought out a scripture stating that the wicked were going to be uprooted out of the land. The wicked don't get to win. I love Jehovah because he tells us of things before they happen so that we can know a thing. And he put protection there, even within that word. And obviously the Judgment is somebody coming back around. It's a forgiveness card. It's a karmic card. It's things that have been hidden coming up right out of the grave itself. And the Chariot is having to pull the mind down to move the Chariot to get that victory, right? But those two letters together make that word raise or rise or whatever it is, whichever direction that it goes, for somebody plotting a real nastiness. And I thank Jehovah for bringing that out, because he literally brought, and I just stated in that video, I was like, obviously everybody's not dealing with this, but that word was there, because then I said, I just know that word because it came out yesterday and I looked it up, and here it is. Something was coming out of my spirit about something that happened about 3 years ago to my dad, and at his funeral something was said to me. Well, there was a couple of things that were done. It was very strange, actually, at that funeral. Somebody in the family asked me to share a story that had taken place a few years prior to his passing away. And it was a funny story, actually. I'm not going to tell the story, but it was funny. But knowing now it was a setup of why they wanted me to tell that story, it's very disgraceful. Some of the things that my family has done to me, or kept secret from me, or got me caught up in, or because of a stupid, nasty group, or whatever reason why. But I told this story, and it was every time I ever told the story, everybody's always laughing because it's just funny. But they specifically asked me that I would share that at his funeral. And when I got to the end of it, where normally it's what was funny about it would make you laugh, every single person just stayed quiet. It's as if they knew when she finishes, don't say anything, because everybody was just it's as if everybody was just paid off. Or I mean, I've never done anything to any of these people. They were supposed to be my family, and at the end of his funeral, somebody approached me that I used to go to church with this person, and so did my dad. He ran the PA system in the church at my aunt's church for a while. But this person came up to me and stated something about how he was a pain in my ass, but it was the way he said it. It was the way he said it. And I'm somebody who also just pick up intuitively things. And I'd stated on here that the night before he died, I had that black cat literally just ran right out in front of me. Just flipped around, turned around, and just looked right into my eyes. And I heard the spirit say, in the midnight hour, I'll be going home. And I know something nasty took place with him. I knew it when I pulled up on the parking lot before I ever went in. My spirit was just going off about it. And his house was just like cleaner than it ever had been. And I had stated before that prior to his dying, I'd come over to his house a couple times, and I did notice that he was keeping it up, but not like that. Not like that. It was really clean. And yet, after his death, we went in and, cleaned it up as well. And I told how his gun was sitting on the desk, at which, he carried his gun and everything. But there was just something about that. Because when the police or fake cops or whoever the crap they were, when I began to tell some things that were just going off in my spirit about the whole situation itself, I said something about him. He had a chain on. He never wore a chain, ever. Never even didn't even know he even owned a chain. But my siblings stated that he had a chain. He never wore a chain. But he had a chain on him that day when we came into his apartment, found him there. And his gun was sitting there on the desk. And I had told that when I arrived in the parking lot that there was a female there that knew him very well. And I guess they went to school together or something like that. And every time she had ever seen me, she'd be like, "Hi, hey, Shannon, how you doing?" But that day, she sat there behind the trash can. She was smoking a cigarette, and I seen her, and I said, "Hey, it's so-and-so. Have you seen my dad?" And she said, but it was just one of those, I can't talk about it or something like, I don't, knowing what I know now, I understand that. I went back to her house after the death, trying to figure out something, because my spirit was just going off. It was just going off. It was going off. And something about that gun and his cell phone. Well, his gun was sitting there, and when they came in, I was just trying to tell the people about how I was feeling and what was going on, and something was strange, and he never wore a chain. He had a chain on. I said his house never been this clean, and my sibling that was there with me grabbed that gun, and I was like, "Don't touch that," because I felt like there's something huge, and there was something huge, because my spirit don't lie to me. Jehovah don't lie to his people. But he picked up that gun and he put it down into the desk, and later I ended up with that gun, and I've told a story about how things just got so horrible. I was just like, well, God, people won't talk to me because they know what? Because they know I know something, or they were segregated against me, and I was going to take that gun. And I don't believe in suicide, but I told her how I took that gun and I put it up to my chest. I said, please forgive me, but nobody talked to me. And when I did that, the bullet just came out of it, just out of nowhere. It just came out, and I was ticked. I was like, I can't even get that done. Kind of an energy. And then the next day I had thrown it in some olive oil, and there was bullets within that gun, and my son had came over, and he was mad that I stuck it in oil. I was like, well, I'll clean it up. And it got turned around in the sink, and it went off, and it missed me. And Jehovah just literally protected me through all kinds of stuff. But that gun, my old son has that gun now. But I'm sorry, I'm getting a little sidetracked here, because I got a lot going through my spirit, especially with what was crossing that nine of Pentacles on that reading, because it just, for whatever reason, my spirit went back to all of this within that. His cell phone. I had his cell phone for a while, and that when that initial day, his cell phone was there. I went to, when it was, sitting there, I went to grab it to see what was in it, and it seems like I viewed something, was going to come back and look at it further, and put it down to go do something else. But when I came back to get that cell phone, it got moved into the windowsill, and I think it was charging or something. And when I did get back around to looking in it, everything had been wiped off of it. Everything. These are the kind of things that had taken place that they shouldn't. That has been a mystery that shouldn't have been messed with in any way, shape, or form for no reason. Something was up, and my spirit knew it before any of that stuff was even going on. I knew it, and somebody else knows it as well. And my youngest son made a statement to me one day about something that was found on the phone, and I won't say what it was. But how he knew that information, I have no idea, because he was not there that day when I went to pick the phone back up to see what was in it. It was all wiped away. So I know he was murdered. He didn't just die naturally. There were too many clues left behind at his death by something nasty that took place with him. And people knew about it and mocked at his funeral through me to try to set me up, because I knew of it, I guess. I contacted somebody who is connected to my family who, I can't remember what you call those people, but what do they call it when they come in, and the examiner, he was an examiner, and I contacted him on my way to the FBI, which I got nowhere with them face to face. Then they said, well, go to the police. And when I did go to the FBI face to face, I said, well, I tried. And I said, I didn't get nowhere, as always. And I've over and over tried to go to the police and call the FBI, and you guys that are on the other end of this phone, in which I have nothing to hide, and have told you when I've called you, please, by all means, go ahead and get into my files on my phone, on my YouTube, everything that I've recorded, and whatever. I need to get to the bottom of this crap. Something nasty has taken place. And I deserve answers. I feel that I do know some answers, but I want to hear them. All of it. I shall live and not die. because I'm a daughter of the great King. He protects me. So people think they're going to plot to try to do something to me. You can't touch me, because Jehovah is a shield around about me. Like, too many times I asked him, just take me out of here. I don't even care. Nobody talked to me. I couldn't even kill myself just to get myself out, because nobody cared anyway. And he still preserved me. I'm not afraid to die. And like I said, I begged him, just take me tonight. Just take my breath. I don't care. Just take me. What is the point that I stay here? But he is going to let me stay here and thrive, because I honored my parents when they were alive. I'm just sharing. If you are new, I just get on my channel and I just share my experience in my life, because I don't have anybody to talk to. Because of why? What is the reason why? I've been mistreated bad. Secrets all around me for a long time. And it's not fair. It's the second day of November. And I sit again in my house alone, because I don't know who to trust. And yet Jehovah won't take me home.